I'm Chris Story, and this is Alaska Real Estate. As we wind down the year 2012, it seemed appropriate to pay homage to your president, Joni Schneider. So stand by for a riveting farewell to the Alaska Association of Realtors' very own President Schneider. If it happens to real estate, it matters to you. Alaska Real Estate's brought to you in part thanks to the support of Alaska Housing Finance Corporation, your partner in Alaska real estate and energy efficiency. With a mission to make housing affordable, accessible, and safe, AHFC is your friend in real estate. Online at ahfc.us and akrebate.com. And a big thanks to Alaska USA Mortgage Company, a name you know and people you trust. With mortgage professionals all over Alaska, AK USA Mortgage Company puts your client first every time. Daily rates online at akusamortgage.com. Please welcome to the podcast your president, Joni Schneider. Joni Schneider, president of the Alaska Association of Realtors. Your term is coming to a close. What would you categorize as the highlights of 2012 for the Schneider presidency?
That's a big question. It sounds a little bit blasé to say it's been an honor and a privilege, but it truly has been. It's been a glorious ride. The highlights would be, when we went to do the Realtor Rally in D.C. and having Mo in Girdwood and actually getting the President's Cup for the first time ever in the first state to do that, this year, that is. It was just amazing, and it wasn't me, but it was all the people working in behalf of the Alaska Association of Realtors. They were just amazing. You know that.
Yeah. Interesting thing about meeting the President Mo, is that he's a real person, isn't he? I mean, he's a real guy.
He is absolutely he's like a chameleon. He could fit in wherever you put him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
do.
Gets down to anybody's level or up to that level, and it's strictly from the heart.
So you've seen the Realtor organization from the inside of your local board, the state board, and now the National Association up close and personal with several trips to Washington, D.C., and involved at the higher levels. What are you taking away from your experience, and what will last with you?
I truly believe that our voice is well heard, whether we are in Washington, D.C., or in Juneau at our state legislature. I'm very proud of the NAR, our national directors. It seems like everybody, we've established a good rapport no matter where we're at because they know we know our facts, and we do because NAR is probably how many months out ahead of us, and all we have to do is click and go. And we just had one the other day, so I hope everybody did their call for action on the that was to expire on the 31st of December, that forgiveness.
Yes,
for
right.
People that are already down and out so they don't get taxed on their short sale.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we're still fighting for the mortgage interest deduction. And I think, in our own legislature, we got some things accomplished that we lobbied for, and that was good. The one thing that Mo is very proud of that, because even though it was election year and we were told don't even try, we did get the flood insurance to go for a full 5 years rather than the little stopgap Band-Aid we were always getting that slowed up everything.
Well, what advice, as you look back on the year as president, what advice would you look forward and give the next president of the Alaska Association of Realtors? What advice would you give Michael?
I would give Michael, just be true to yourself. He's going to be an awesome president, so I don't know that he needs a lot of advice, but I do know you just have to have a life. You can't do it all. And I think in my situation, I'm more on the other side of the, sunset, and he's got a lot going for him, so I just know that he'll do a great job. No matter what you ask him to do, he's up for it and game. And I would like to say to other people who haven't thought about, being an officer or even just serving on a local board, you've got to get your feet in there at some point. And it's like I would have never thought in a million years that I would ever be state president. It wasn't even my goal. And it wasn't until I went to my first leadership conference in Anchorage that I thought, wow, I need this. This is something I want to do. And so I hope that everybody that we have one again in January, and I'm sure you'll be there. And it's always interesting to see the new members come in that are from the local boards and the president-elect, and And a lot of those you'll see they get it, and they'll go forward, and they'll be part of it.
You know, you've been in real estate a couple of years now. Is there something that you would, because we do have new realtors coming on board all over the state and around the country, and there seems to be renewed energy in the markets around the country. What advice or wisdom or encouragement would you offer our younger, newer realtor members, aside from getting involved at their local board, which is a great advice, but what other advice would you give them to stay the course and stick with this industry?
I know when I was starting out, any chance I could get to be educated, I did it. I mean, it was just like, I was just like a sponge waiting to learn it all. And you have to be that way. And it's like, in this day and age, things change so fast, and you have to be willing to adapt to change. And there's so many classes being offered in designations, and it's like, the more you have, the more credible you will be. You have to have that fervor. You have to want to do it. It isn't, to me, it was never a job. It was always, I love what I do. I never thought of it as work. It's like something you just totally want to share with people and be part of that big experience of their new memories that they're going to create.
You did a really good job presenting in Washington, D.C. April Frick was on hand and recorded some of what you said back there, and we played it, in fact, on our previous podcast. And so talk about what it's like to speak in front of a group, because it's not something that everybody's comfortable with. And as a leader, that's something that you're called upon to do. So how do you handle that situation?
It's just never bothered me. But I would have to say, way back when I took the Dale Carnegie course, and I credit and allude a lot of things to that program, and of course that is geared towards public speaking. Mm-hmm. And I think mainly you just have to know how to think on your feet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Think out the answer before you talk.
Right. Well, you're going to be past president. Do you see yourself staying involved in the realtor organization at a state level beyond that?
Well, I'm going to be an RPAC trustee for the next 3 years, so that's pretty much staying involved, because Excellent. You have to go to all of the board meetings, and so if somebody does something wrong, we'll let them know.
All right. All right, Joni. Well, hats off to you. It's been a great year. It's been an honor and privilege to speak with you over the year here on the podcast and be part of your administration. Thank you so much for all that you do and continue to do for realtors everywhere. Yeah,
okay. We'll talk to you later, Chris.
Okay. That's it for this edition of Alaska Real Estate. Stay tuned for more great adventures in real estate. Our executive producer is Sandy Ehrenman. For all of us at Alaska Real Estate Podcast, I'm Chris Story, wishing you health, wealth, and prosperity.